Disclaimer, I've drank half of a venti coffee, so I might be a little bit hype in this video, so just bear with me. Hello everyone! It has been a long time since I've sat in front of a camera like this, so this is a little bit weird, but I am back for another video. But today I thought I would sort of get back to my roots and do a video on long distance stuff because I still get a lot of questions asked about that to me, and I've been doing vlogs lately, and I just thought let's get back to just a casual sit down video where I talk about long distance relationships because that's sort of where I started. So basically I asked you guys on Instagram and on here on YouTube if you had any specific questions about being in a long distance relationship or any advice that you needed, because I do get a lot of questions about it and I just thought that this was the best way to tackle it all. I got a lot of repeats, so I'm just going to answer like the best ones that I think I got. If you have any other questions, obviously you can DM me on Instagram or talk to me wherever and I'll try to answer them the best that I can. I also got some other questions that weren't concerning long distance relationships, so I'm not going to be answering those today. But if you want me to do another Q&A, you can just let me know down below and then I can answer those questions for you guys. So let's get started. So the first question is, how do you mail each other letters and packages without it costing a fortune? And I wish I had better advice for this, but I haven't really found a way to do this. We try our best to make the packages that we send not as heavy, because that's what obviously makes the price super expensive. I mean, letters aren't too bad because it's obviously just in an envelope and it shouldn't be that expensive, but with packages it's the weight that really makes it like the price go up. So when we can, if we're like sending gifts for birthdays, we try to send it right from the website. Like say I was getting Elia something from Urban Outfitters, I would just ship it right from the Urban Outfitters website to her house, so I wouldn't ship it to me first and then pack it. But obviously if you're making like homemade gifts, then you're gonna want to send it from your house. Obviously you're gonna have to. So yeah, just try to make the weight as low as possible. That's the best advice that I have for that. Next question is asking how to prove to your parents that your long distance relationship isn't a catfish. And I didn't really have any trouble with this. Like my parents were pretty understanding right away. But my best advice would be to see if you can get your parents to FaceTime or like Skype with your boyfriend or girlfriend that you're long distance with, because then they'll be able to actually talk to the person and understand that this is just a real person that lives far away and just a regular person that my child is talking to. So that would be my best advice for that. The next question is how to get cheap flights to see each other, and this really depends on how far away you two are, because if one of you lives in Australia and the other one lives in the US, that's obviously a really far distance, so prices of flights will be more expensive. But my best advice is to use websites like Expedia is what we use. I know there's a bunch of other websites. I'll put some on the screen if I can figure them out, but a lot of these websites will try to get you the best deal for your flight, so that's kind of all I can really advise you to do. If any of you have advice on this, you can leave it down below for each other to help each other out. The next question is how to convince your parents to let you meet your boyfriend and girlfriend. And this can be a difficult process for some people. Personally, for me, it wasn't. My parents understood right away again. I guess I got really lucky with that. But my best advice is from the beginning of your relationship, be really open with your parents about who you're seeing and try to get conversation about them going. And if you can, get your parents to meet your boyfriend or girlfriend over Skype or FaceTime, just so they understand that they're like a regular person. And then if you have that relationship and your parents have that relationship with your boyfriend or girlfriend, it'll be easier for them to understand why you'd want to meet them. And also you can try to get your parents to talk to your boyfriend or girlfriend's parents, because that can also help with both of them understanding and like forming a relationship there so that they will be okay with you visiting each other. The next question was if time zones were an issue for Elia and I. And personally they weren't, because Elia is 3 hours ahead of me, so it wasn't that big of a time difference. And often she'll just stay up with me when she can, when she doesn't have school, obviously, so that we can talk to each other. So it wasn't really an issue for us, but I can understand how it would be an issue if you've got 8 hours between you two, and I can't really give advice on that because I haven't experienced it. But if any of you guys have a long distance relationship where there's a lot of time, like a big time difference between you two, please leave advice in the comments below so you can help each other out, because I don't really have any advice on this because I haven't experienced it. The next question is how to keep the trust in a long distance relationship. And this can be very difficult for some people because obviously you're not able to be right with the person that you're in a relationship with, so it can be hard to trust them. But I think if you're just open with conversation and honest with each other and lay out the boundaries and stuff like that that you want in your relationship, then that's like the best advice I have. Like, trust wasn't really an issue for Ldr and I either. Like, I trust her, she trusts me, and we both know that we wouldn't do anything to hurt the other. So as long as you can have that open, honest conversation with each other, then it shouldn't be too difficult to trust the other person. The next question is how to manage timing for doing FaceTime calls or video chats with your significant other. So Ldr and I try to FaceTime every day, but obviously this isn't always realistic because she's in college, I'm in my last year of high school. So we're both pretty busy, but we just try to find a time in our day, even if it's 20 minutes, to just call each other and say hi. Again, with time zones, this could be a lot harder, but we don't really have that much of a difference. So we usually try to FaceTime when it's like around dinner time, my time, and like late evening, her time, and that usually works pretty well for us. The next question is how to start a long distance relationship from the beginning. And I don't know if you've already met someone and you're wanting to ask them if they want to be in a relationship, or you just want a long distance relationship. But I wouldn't advise going out and searching for a long distance relationship because it is really difficult to be away from the person you love. So if you can avoid it, that's always better. But if you've already met this person and you want to begin a relationship, just sort of maybe ask them if they'd be open to that and explain your feelings and just see what their opinion is on it. That's the best advice I have. The next question is how to make a long distance relationship last. And my best advice for this is to be really open with each other and work on your communication skills a lot, because obviously that's the main part of really any relationship, but especially a long distance one. And if you're both really like wanting this relationship to work, then you can make it work for any length of time, any distance, because if you're both in it, then you can make it work, you know? The next question is how long should people in an LDR spend talking to each other every day? And this honestly depends on the couple and your preference. Personally, Ldr and I talk pretty much all the time other than when we're at school, and this works for us. But also if one of us has to go out or wants to go out with friends and stuff, we give each other time to not have to feel like we need to text each other. So that works pretty well for us, but it just really depends on what you and your significant other want in that situation. The next question is how to know if the relationship is worth continuing. And this is really about how you feel and how your significant other feels, because personally, I know in my heart that even though the distance is far and it's really hard sometimes, that Ldr is the one I want to be with. So the distance is not that big of a deal because I know that that's the love of my life over there and I can handle it, and she feels the same way. So that's how we know that this relationship is worth continuing. So you just kind of got to think to yourself, is this really what I want? And have that conversation with your significant other and see if that's what they want as well. This next question is kind of interesting, and it is if it was easier to meet someone online than in real life. And for me, I guess it sort of was, because when I met Ldr, I wasn't really out to everyone, so it was difficult because I'm pretty shy, and especially then I was pretty shy about like who I sort of am. And it's also hard because when you're in high school, a lot of people aren't out to the world, so it's easier to meet someone in a community online which is pretty accepting of LGBTQ plus people, and like Tumblr, a lot of people are out on there because they can't be in real life. So I guess in that sense it was a bit easier, but I mean, I guess it just depends on how out you are and how out the people in your town are, sort of thing. And the final question is, what can you do to make the distance feel less between you and your girlfriend or boyfriend when you can't go visit each other too often? So some things that Eli and I like to do are send each other letters and packages when we can, because then it just gives us something from the other person and it's like something that they've held, so it sort of feels like you have that connection a little bit. And also we like to watch movies together. We use a website called Rabbit. You've probably heard of it. And it's basically where you can watch a show or a movie with someone and you can video call or audio call with them while you watch it. We're currently watching The Act together on there, which is pretty fun. Show's a bit creepy, but it's fun to be able to watch it with her. So those are a couple things that we like to do. We also just try to FaceTime as much as possible every day, like I said, because it sort of lets each other be a part of the other person's day as much as we can. Okay, so that is all of the questions that I'm going to answer. I'm sure that I missed some, so if you have any other questions, you can DM me or leave them down below and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. But I hope that this video was somewhat helpful to you guys, because I know that a lot of you still want me to make long distance relationship videos because that's where I started and I'm totally happy to do that. So I hope this fulfilled your desires. I also wanted to ask you guys how you'd feel about me posting like vlogs and sit down videos. Like if I did a sit down video one week, then a vlog, sit down video, vlog, like sort of that kind of schedule, because I know a lot of you guys have requested vlogs from me, but I know that you also like my sit down videos. So would you like that schedule, or do you just want me to randomly post vlogs or randomly post sit down videos and not be on such a strict schedule? Just let me know down below what you'd prefer and I'll do that. Okay, so that is it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe if you aren't already. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week. I love you all. Bye, guys.